Mr. Malhotra, thank you very much for talking to Autocar Professional. I want to start this by asking you, Volvo globally has sort of done a revision on its all-electric strategy. Initially, you were focused on going all-electric by 2030, but I believe now there's a bit of a rethought on it, relook on the strategy. So if you could just give your reviews on it.
Yeah, so I think our vision remains very focused on electrification. And what we have done is we have revised our ambition based on the market dynamics. And what it states now is that by 2030, we want to be 90 to 100% electrified. And obviously, we want to still go to full electric as soon as possible. But depending on how the markets sort of work and the dynamics work out, we will get there. So by 2030, we will be 90 to 100% electrified, which includes electric cars as well as other hybrid cars, mild hybrids, hybrids, plug-in hybrid, or whatever we have.
What are the key challenges you see that which led to this relook of the strategy?
No, it's not, I think, about challenge. It is about market dynamics. The adoption of electric car is going at a very good pace across the globe, but it is not exactly, because when you lay out an ambition, it has to have a time frame.
Right.
And I think this is something that we spoke about a few years back. That by 2030 we had set our ambition. But now looking at how things are right now, looking at how the whole sustainable mobility is evolving, I think we believe that we need to respect the market dynamics. And keeping that in mind, we have done these revisions.
Right. Do you also believe that there still needs to be more push from the government side, more incentivization for EVs, particularly passenger cars, so that it drives the demand even more in the future?
I think government has a very good program for electrification. And I think government has been quite strong on that. There are two very important things I would say. One is sustainability, which means that the policies should continue for a longer time. There is a belief that ICE engines and EVs are going to be at par very soon. I think it's not that soon. It's going to take some time. And hence government needs to continue the policies which are available in terms of tax benefits and others for a little longer period.
Okay.
Because as you know, and within the passenger vehicles, right now there's only 2% adoption that has happened. And we need to ensure that the adoption becomes faster with the country.
Right.
And hence those supports which are available, which are, I would say, one of the best available if you compare with many other countries, we need to continue that.
Okay.
That is one. Second is, I think government has made it very clear in terms of the policies, whether it is how they treat ICE and hybrids and electric. I think that clarity and continuity is very important.
Okay.
And the last point, I think from state government perspective also, you see this road tax and things keep on changing.
Yeah.
I think those also need to continue for a longer period. These cannot be like switch on, switch off sort of a thing. So we continue. The state government should also encourage sort of customers to adopt electrification, and hence the road tax benefits which have been announced should continue for longer period, and that will ensure that more customers come forward and adopt to EV technology. And that is important from the perspective, number one, I think as we heard today also in the conference, that I think we need to become self-reliant.
Yeah.
And fossil fuel we need to import. And we have abundance of, I would say, opportunities here in India to develop ourselves as a strong manufacturing base for EVs. And I think government has a lot of policy that should continue.
Yeah.
So that is, I think, something which we need to ensure that it continues for a longer period. And that will go a long way.
Right. For Volvo's business in India, what sort of penetration are you seeing right now of EVs within your overall sales?
See,
what is the plan going?
Yeah, so I think within our own, I would say, portfolio, we have two electric cars, which is like XC40 and C40, which will be renamed to EC40 and EX40, going by the global nomenclature that has not been announced. Because in India, we need to have the certification of the thing, so we'll come out with that very soon. But it's a change of name.
Right.
And I think if you see from our penetration with these two cars, we are close to 26-27% of what we sell. Our portfolio is electric.
Okay.
And within the luxury EV segment, we have, I think depending on the month, somewhere around 25 to 30% of market share.
Okay.
And I think we are very happy at where we are, because if you see, when we look at our ICE engine, I think we have been around 5-6%. But in EV luxury space, we are at somewhere around 25 to 30%. which is very encouraging.
Right.
And the penetration in the luxury industry is also a little faster as compared to, I would say, mass market. Mass market is around 2%. In our industry, it is 8%. I believe it will grow much, much faster.
Right.
And we are working to ensure that that sort of adoption continues to increase.
So you see this as an opportunity for Volvo to tap into maybe a podium position within the EV, luxury EV category? And are you going to bring more products, more EVs in the...
Exactly. I think, see, we have an ambition that we need to, as I said, I think globally also we are saying we want to become an electric car company as soon as possible. And by 2030, 90 to 100% all electrified cars. And with that in mind, I think we will continue to ensure that we nurture the market. So we will soon bring more cars, electric cars. There is a EX30, which we will be bringing early in 2025. And somewhere later in that year, we'll also have an EX90.
Okay.
And parallelly, I think there is a opportunity to bring in our XC90 sort of an all-new XC90 also coming somewhere in next year.
Okay.
A few days back, that both of these cars under 1990 platform was announced.
Right.
And I think we are very excited. We want to bring those cars to India as soon as possible.
Right.
But obviously, there is always a time lag between the global announcement and these cars really come to market. So there is a time.
Right.
But EX30 is around the corner. We're very excited. It's a new segment.
Right.
And I believe that looking at our data, what we are seeing is more younger customers are willing and ready to buy electric cars in our segment. And because these are typically additional cars, this is not the first car. So they're additional cars. So a lot of, I would say, our research says a lot of double income, no kid dinks, as we call them, are, I think, very excited about this product globally and also I think in India. Well, if you see, the luxury car barrier has been that we have all the offering which goes 50 lakhs and above.
Right.
So if we can breach that and bring a car which is a bit more affordable and yet sustainable, I think it can make a big difference. So we are working to ensure that we breach that and bring a car which is very attractive to double income, no kids, and also maybe in India specifically also young couples with small kids.
Right.
So it's a small family car, which I think is a segment below. It's a new segment where we'll be entering, and I believe it's a nascent segment. There is no luxury car available in that segment, and we are very, very excited. We're working sort of diligently to bring that car as soon as possible and make it a grand success.
Right. So do you expect more first-time Volvo buyers coming in with that particular model, EX30?
Exactly. I think so. This may or may not be the first car for the customer per se, but this will be the first Volvo that these customers buy.
Right.
But because of a very attractive proposition. So I think we are working mostly, I think the offering could be very attractive to our own loyal customers who are already owning Volvo. They have tasted it.
Correct.
For them, this could be an additional car for their children or for somebody else in the family. And for this younger audience who could buy this very strong proposition for those customers who first time buy a luxury EV. Because what we have seen, again, our research says that the ambition is there.
Okay.
I get so many emails and so many requests that, okay, I want to buy a Volvo, but I think the price is a little steeper. I think EX30 comes at a very good sweet spot where all those ambitions can be fulfilled for them to buy their first luxury car, first luxury electric car. And I think EX30 is something which will make a big difference.
Right. And you plan to locally assemble these cars in India?
Yes. So I think all the cars that we sell here in India, the two electric cars as well as our mild hybrid ICE Indian cars that we sell here are all assembled.
Right.
We are going to assemble EX30 also here in India. And so I think that will be assembled here in India. So I think that's the plan.
Price advantage.
Yes.
Right. And in terms of the XC90 that you mentioned is going to come next year. So again, you're going to be going strong there on the strong hybrid technology with gasoline engine.
So this XC90 that comes is going to be mild hybrid. Mild hybrid, like we have right now. Also the XC90 is available, also mild hybrid. This will also be mild hybrid. And I think we will announce more about it as we come closer. I think in the sequence, as I said, the first is EX30. That's why I'm talking more about it.
Right.
When those cars come, I'll give you more detail.
But no diesels from Volvo?
Diesels, I think we have already, we have moved away from diesel. I think it's been more than 2 years that we moved away from diesels. They are selling IC engine that do in mild hybrids. Or we are selling in full EVs.
Right. This is Malhotra. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Right.